chatty. Aloha is a promise that the sun will shine again, bringing fresh hope and dreams with each new day that begins. Aloha is the sunlight shining through the darkness, giving strength to all we do. Aloha is his grace, walking in the sunlight, feeling the beauty of life. Feeling the beauty of life, aloha is a helping hand, his warm and comforting voice, it is peace be with you. In love and forever, aloha is the mind and the heart, it is perfect harmony. It's tenderness and love, deep in the heart of Hawaii. Aloha is Hawaii, Hawaii is aloha. Hawaii is aloha ya oi, I love you. Aloha au ya oi o Hawaii, I love you.
A native Hawaiian from Canadians makes me weep when I hear her sing. This is Kabai Ole Ake Li'i Kiri Ku'u. She recited a poem by a woman named Pilahi Paki. And here's the best photo we have of her now. But if you Google Aloha Spirit Law Pilahi Paki, you'll see many pictures of her, and you'll see videos of her. And you can look at this later if you wish. So, this is a caricature of Pilahi Paki that was done by my son-in-law, Andy Guritz. It's the only piece of art that's not mine in this presentation. But it's a wonderful caricature of another photo of her. And Pilahi Paki has two questions. The first question is, what is aloha? What is aloha? And the other question is, who am I? Who is she? So this painting here is a vision I had of her vision. It's a vision I'll tell you about in a moment, but it's got all the support of all the kahunas on all the islands, and especially this kahuna, Auntie Emily Fries, who is the spiritual guide for PKO, Protect Ka'aloha Ohana. And this is, Iolani Luahini, who is the master of the ancient hula. And she's had a vision in 1970, and this is a world that's dripping in oil and blood. So I'll tell you about the vision, but first I want to tell you a little bit more about Pilahi Paki. This is kind of a milestone painting of hers. Hold it up. She was born in Kaanapali in 1910. She was trained as a kahuna in Magawao and given the title Keeper of Hawaiian Secrets and passed the knowledge. And then she became a kumuhula and many more things. She became a Lomi master and translator and linguist, a messenger, a pro-activist for Aloha Spirit, a kahuna, a keeper of Hawaiian secrets, a healer, a philosopher, a writer, a songwriter, a chanter, a poet, and a visionary. And she had a vision in 1970, and this is a miniature of the bigger painting. Her vision was that the world would be in terrible strife in the 21st century, and that everyone in the world will look to these islands, to the Aloha Spirit, to heal the world. So, I have to ask the question, is the world in terrible strife in the 21st century? Yes. I think I can probably get a unanimous on that. But I have to show the art anyway.
Oh.
In 3,500 years of world history, there have been 300 years where there were no wars. And there, in this history of ours, there's been up to 1 billion people died on the planet. And 200 million died in religious wars. This year, 20 million men, women, and children will die from starvation. And 1 billion, almost 1/6 of the planet, will suffer hunger, isolation, and poverty. This is about human trafficking, and the statistics are not easy to listen to. 75% are women and girls that are sold into sexual slavery worldwide today. Others are put into forced labor. 65 million people are displaced today. 25 million of them are children that become easy prey to the human trafficking. There are children that are getting murdered for their organ parts, for organ transplants. There are children being mutilated to become better beggars, inspire more sympathy. And there are other abuses of women that are not from human trafficking. Here in some nations, a woman's testimony is worth half of a man's. So she can never win a rape case. In this box, 14 million preteen and teenage girls are sold or forced into forced marriages, arranged marriages with older men every year. 14 million. And on the average, 1 out of 3 females worldwide have been sexually abused. And in 2018, no woman has the same equal rights as men in any nation. The one that comes closest to coming toward that is Iceland, with 87% equality. Then we have the worldwide problem of bigotry. And of course, here is the symbol of bigotry, because he persecuted particularly Jewish people, really 2/3 of the Jewish population of Europe. And we know the stories of the Holocaust and the ovens and all that. He's not the most evil, maybe, leader in the world. Stalin was pretty evil himself, but he was a symbol. Because this is a war that killed 80 million people. The biggest war, the biggest casualties of all. And of course, bigotry takes so many forms. We know about the KKK. They came into being when the slaves were released or freed. And since then, there's been 4,000 lynched, black African American lynched since then. And of course, they also target Catholics, gays, Muslims. They want them to be just like them. Thank God there's only a small amount. And of course, in the U.S., when the founders of the U.S. Declaration of Independence declared that all men are created equal, it did not include females at all, just white males. The next abusive world problem is animal abuse. 150 billion animals are murdered each year for human benefit, for food, for hunting, for euthanasia, for fashion, and for laboratory experiments. In the fashion industry, 1,500,000,000 animals are murdered for their furs and their hides. In laboratory experiments, there's often a repeated experiment just to get the grant. And the same experiment, the same result, is torturing more animals. That is animal abuse. And of course, we have the problem of all the environment. And much of it is man-made. The global warming we're contributing, the excessive use of oil, excessive use of resources, on and on and on. And all these problems can be summarized by a doomsday friend of mine who I asked to summarize the 21st century. And so I started with it with a painting that I had done before called Mother Earth is Pissed. So the poem is entitled Doomsday Dick's Summary of the 21st Century. Mother Earth is pissed, global warming insists, Earth's resources depleted, speedier and speedier, human conflict casting incredible disasters, food monopolies, animal atrocities, rainforests disappear, polluted water and air, addictions, convictions, capitalism is a theory that has failed humanity and created global disharmony. Prisons are sadistically obsolete. Uber violence repeats. Military costs are obscene. Sports and entertainment, temporary distractions to hide up-down diabolical actions. World economies are going down. The human race is near its end. It is the trend. I don't think so. I think Pilahi Paki had it right about her vision that the world is in terrible strife in the 21st century. I also believe in the other half of her vision that we can heal the world. So, a little more history. She took her vision to the 2000 Governors Conference in Honolulu that was held in 1970. She stood up and shared her vision and pled for everyone to use the Hawaii to teach and use and apply the Aloha Spirit to the rest of the world. So from that action of hers, a law resulted, the Aloha Spirit Law. And to read this law, it was dictated by her. I want to invite Kawai again to read the Aloha Spirit Law using native Hawaiian pronunciation, not mine.
Aloha Spirit is the coordination of mind and heart within each person. It brings each person to the self. Each person must think and evoke good feelings to others. In the contemplation and presence of the life force, aloha, the following unihi laula loa may be used. Akahai, meaning kindness, to be expressed with tenderness. Loakahi, meaning unity, to be expressed with harmony. Olu olu, meaning agreeable, to be expressed with pleasantness. Ha'aha'a, meaning humility, to be expressed with modesty. Ahonui, meaning patience, to be expressed with perseverance. These are traits of character that express the charm, warmth, and sincerity of Hawaii's people. It was the working philosophy of native Hawaiians and was presented as a gift to the people of Hawaii. Aloha is more than a word of greeting or farewell, or a salutation. Aloha means mutual regard and affection and extends warmth towards others in a caring with no obligation in return. Aloha is the essence of relationships in which each person is important to every other person for collective existence. Aloha means to hear what is not said, to see what cannot be seen, and to know the unknowable.
Beautiful.
I have an impression of the Aloha Spirit Law. And I wrote a haiku. It shows the 5 Aloha laws that form an acronym, and then it shows the limbs of the meaning. And my haiku is, rainbow tree roots deep, spiritual can't remember my haiku. Let me try that again. Rainbow tree roots deep, aloha spirit mana, each person chooses. Now, the meaning of this was Pilahi Paki's. Pilahi Paki said that aloha spirit is in the land. It's in the mana of the land. We feel it, we know it. But we have to choose it, to embrace it, to become one with it. So I'm going to ask our Hawaii maiden from Kamehameha School to read another poem by Pilahi Paki on how to choose the aloha spirit.
What is aloha? Before you can have aloha, you must do aloha. Before you can be aloha, you must choose aloha. Before you can choose aloha, you must have the power to choose. Before you have the power to choose, you must be the source of the power. Before being the source of the power, you must be conscious of the source.
That's what, in my painting, this is what these people have done. They've embraced the Aloha Spirit Law, and they're part of a shift that's going to happen, that's going to change our world. And anything else? I guess, no, that's it for now. I do want to do what's next, which is to introduce someone that's been very special to me in some of the seminars she has, and this is Gabriella Mollier, and her husband Raymond, who manage the Kono Institute and teach human source code seminars to lead us, our consciousness, closer and closer to the fifth dimension of pure love. And it works, and she's also adopted the Aloha Spirit Law in her seminars, and she has written a poem that she's going to share with us now.
I want to thank you for this evening and for being here and honoring White, who has been to me such an important influence on so many levels. We met about 2 years ago in a group of artists that I was invited to, and we were speaking all about how can we incorporate art into our lives. And he started to share about the Aloha Spirit Law. Now, I know Maui since I was 19 years old. I had not heard about this. I almost felt backwards that I live in a state that has a law about the Aloha Spirit. And just reading it at the beginning was one thing, but he so inspired me to dig deeper, because the words that you read so eloquently can evoke so much in us. And so I wrote a poem of how this Aloha Spirit Law came to me. Let me tell you about a precious gift I received some time ago. It was given to me by someone who is dancing in the flow. A wise man with a heart of gold and purple in his hair. The embodiment of the secret law that I am going to share. It's with gratitude that I give to you this gift that comes from love. From the people that live in paradise when the sun shines from above. It's the essence of each relationship. The spirit that fuels the heart. The connection between each one of us that needs no counterpart. Everyone gets as long as they want until they realize that life is just a love game and oneness is the prize. Kindness expressed with tenderness, unity with harmony, agreeable expressed with pleasantness, humility with modesty, patience with each other, and perseverance is the way. That's the Aloha Spirit Law. To be loved, love, love every day. It's Hawaii's gift to its people to be shared around the world. An expression of aloha with each move and every word. Aloha, to learn what is not said, to see what can't be seen, and to know the unknowable were the words of our Queen. If all of us share this law of love and express our island's truth by letting go of all that is not love, so each part of us can improve. Aloha opens mind and heart, and it heals the wounds of our souls. We are not meant to be perfect, but for sure we are meant to be whole.
By the way, I can't have you arrested if you don't smile. But you can go to the Aloha Spirit Law. This was a gift from Pilai Paki and the Hawaiian people. They wanted to share this attitude so that we all know it and can use it with tourists that come or wherever we travel in the world. So what's happened is it's begun. It's begun. We have people that are learning about the Aloha Spirit Law, and they are taking it around the world. And we can do this. And I really believe this, or I wouldn't be doing this. Believe me. Now the next thing, and the last thing on the program, almost the last thing, is this is the goal of the Aloha Spirit. It's to have a healthy earth and share it equally. And so I'm asking two singers to come up, Julia and Ava, to lead us in a song that may be familiar to you. And if you don't remember the words, I'm going to be holding them up.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here with Wai to sing for his Aloha Spirit Law presentation. And I believe you have a pledge that you're going to hand out too. That it's an individual pledge. If you feel it in your heart to sign it, it's just for yourself to read and sign that you want to pledge yourself to abide by the Aloha Spirit Law. Why don't you come here and I hold it for you. Great. So we're going to sing Imagine. These are the words. Please sing along with us. We did change the very last line here, one of the last lines. We must all understand, in keeping with Wai's philosophy about brotherhood of man being all male-directed, and because he is a wonderful feminist, he changed that line. So I know John will forgive him just for this line.
I think John Lennon would have agreed with it. Yeah, it's just time to change.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people must all understand. Can we hear you guys? Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Eva Maria.
I have to say, the conclusion on this is the world problems that I talked about in the 21st century, they're never going to get resolved as long as we keep doing what we're doing. It's just not going to happen. As long as humans are divided into separately sealed, impotent nations, controlled and rationed by banks, corporations, cartels, and other global organizations up the world chain of command. So it's no secret that 2% or 1 to 2% of the population control the land, and they reign. But a shift is coming. And the shift, this is part of the shift. It's applying the Aloha Spirit, spreading it in the world, however you feel like you want to. And there's a pledge that comes with this. And like Julia said,
We're passing them out right now.
yeah, okay.
Oh, you need a copy?
Oh, I have one.
Do you need one?
Yeah, just a minute. Oh, here we go. It's a self-committing pledge. So no one ever knows if you signed up for this or not. But if you do, know this, it's going to add us one step closer to a mathematical shift in global consciousness. And I believe it's coming, and if it doesn't happen, whew, then that poet was right, and I don't think he is. So the last thing I want to share with you is Aloha left us with a question of what is aloha. And it's 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. I don't care how many ones, it all adds up to 1. It adds up to my painting of oneness. And I have another one, and then that's it. This is me with my family now of tropical exotic animals, and farm animals, and domestic dogs. And of course, you notice this is me, my impression of me. And you notice that I'm the only one that's self-conscious. So I want to thank you again. I want to thank you, Holly. I'm living in the Aquarian age now. I'm telling you how I think it is. You can check it for yourself. You can buy it on Amazon, and hopefully I'll get it into maybe the Wailuku Healing Center bookstore eventually. Anyway, just the name of it is Aquarian Age Consciousness.
It should be in the library.
This is a bit sensitive. It's pretty comfortable. So thanks again for coming.
Thank you.